Congratulations, very impressive victory for you tonight. I know you were confident going in and you're confident in your skills, but did you see it playing out that, I want to say easily, as it did for you tonight?
The harder I train, the easier the fight seemed to go for me. I didn't see it playing out that way, but I always knew it could play out that way. And I worked hard, and it ended up going to my favor.
You've had an impressive rise to the top, but it's funny. I feel like you've kind of been in the background a little bit, maybe under the radar. Do you feel like maybe that changed this week? I mean, being the main event, being on this big stage, getting a result like that. Do you feel, I know it's still soon afterwards, but have you gotten a feel that maybe that respect level is changing a little bit?
I do. I was my first main event, and I had fun. I had fun all week long. I had fun going out to the cage. I enjoyed myself the entire time. When I'm an old man, I could talk to my grandkids about that time in Boston. It was everything I could have ever imagined or dreamed of, and it all came to fruition better than any dream I've ever had about it. So I've had a lot of media on me. I've had a lot of eyes on me this week, and hopefully people are relating with my story and who I am, and they could see my skill set now and appreciate it, and I started moving up, get my title shot.
How about to you personally, what did this mean? I mean, beating a former champion. Yes, I know he was coming up a division, but we've seen the great accomplishments that he's had and what he's done in his career. I mean, what did this personally mean to you? Did it prove anything to yourself, or did it reaffirm anything that you weren't sure about before tonight?
It did reaffirm, I changed things up my last fight against Vulcan, and I went back home for this fight. I got back with my team, my people, got back to my family, to the love, and it really paid off. I got back to Dominick Reyes, and it truly paid off. It meant a lot for me tonight, Winning my very first main event, and I won by knockout in the first round. I mean, it was everything, and I'm so blessed, man. I'm just grateful.
Yeah. Lastly, for me, you were sitting here, so you heard Dana kind of non-committal. That's not atypical of a fight night. He doesn't like to match make. But what do you think? You called out John right there. Do you feel like, hey, this isn't a debate, I am the rightful #1 contender, or do we need to wait till UFC 244 and see what happens there? How do you see the title picture, and do you feel like you're the clear-cut guy, or is there still a case to be made?
I do feel I'm the clear-cut guy. The only thing in my mind would be, John maybe trying to go up to heavyweight. And if he wants to go up to heavyweight, then let's have an interim title, I don't know what Anthony Smith is doing, but I feel like that'd be a great fight for the interim belt. But honestly, I want to fight John. My whole career, I'm doing this to be the best in the world. I want to be the champion. I'm not here to just keep fighting guys. So I've beaten 2 title challengers, now a champion. Now there's another champion I want to beat. Like, natural progression. I'm number 4 in the world. The 2 guys ahead of me already got a shot, so I feel it's my turn.
What if Johnny Walker does a cartwheel off the cage and just knocks somebody out?
Good for him.
So you, over here in the middle, you said, I heard part of it in the post-fight, that you started seeing the opportunity to hit the punch that where he was coming in. What was it about the angle, or was he just lunging chin up? Can you go into more detail about that?
So I'm constantly analyzing in there. It's every time he moves, every time he breathes, I'm making adjustments. I'm analyzing everything he's doing. I'm tracking trajectories of my punches. And the way he was moving kind of was bringing his chin from here to here. And that little movement was lining up for me. I was like, okay, next time he moves a little bit, right there, I'm firing. I'm going to fire. The first time I fired, he shot. I was like, okay, I'll defend this takedown. We'll break. He's gonna wear himself out. I was like, this. It was funny because when we were against the cage and I defended his takedown, I'm like, this guy's acting like Rockhold right now. He's like gonna burn himself out trying to take me down. It's not gonna work, buddy. And you're gonna just keep burning yourself out. And we broke. And he moved again into that position, but this time he threw, and I was fading at the same time. And as I was fading, I saw it. It was like, it really was like throwing a softball to yourself and just hitting it. Like, it was perfect. It was so right down the middle. It looked like a freaking cantaloupe. And just, bow. Oh, it was beautiful.
Hey, Dom. There's been a lot of tough fighters that have sat up at a press conference like you, and they said, I'm going to be the next one to fight John Jones. I guess for people that maybe aren't convinced still, what is it about you? What would go differently? Like, what kind of performance would you put on that would be different than all these other guys against Jones?
I'd go out there and fight with all my heart. I'd fight with all my soul. I mean, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I'm not going to squander it. You know, I'm gonna fight till the end. Like, I've worked my whole life for this. I'm not just gonna go out there and not go for it. Like, I'm gonna go out there and go for it. I'm gonna do everything I can. I'm gonna be in his face. I got these hands. These people don't got hands like I got. I got precision. I'm throwing lasers. I'm not arcing and doing all this crazy stuff. It's precision. I could fire like that and knock you out. So, and I'm bringing all that. And I'm bringing pressures. I'm pulling. I could strike going forward and backward. And I got heart, man. And I'm not stopping. I'm not stopping unless he puts me out. That's the only way I'm leaving that octagon not victorious, if he puts me out.
And John's not booked right now, but he's tweeted, seems like he wants a fight. Physically, how are you feeling right now about, do you think you could have a fight like this closer rather than later?
I don't know, man. That was a tough fight. Nah, I feel great. I have no injuries. There's nothing going on. Nothing. I'm good to go.
Dominick over here. Did Chris share any wisdom with you afterwards? Obviously, he's a former world champion. He kind of passed the torch to you in a way tonight. You had a fantastic performance. Did you and Chris converse in the cage after the fight at all?
No, man. I mean, I would assume when you get knocked out, you don't really want to talk about giving advice to someone. You just kind of want to be left alone and be with your team and your family. You know, all respect to Chris. He was a great champion. He was a formidable opponent, very strong, a little stronger than I expected. And he went out there and he put it all on the line, man. He went for it. Didn't work out for him, but he went for it. So, I mean, I respect the guy, man. He's a great man. He's a great human being, and I have nothing but respect for him.
And lastly, for me, what have these last 2 years or so been like for you? You take a fight with Joaquin Christensen on short notice, just days' notice. You have that performance, all the way up to main eventing in Boston. What have these last 2 years been like for you?
It's been a blast, man. I'm in the UFC. I'm living my dream. I'm traveling the world. I'm fighting in Boston in the main event. Like, this is all the dream. Growing up as a kid, I've always wanted to be a professional athlete. I'm a professional athlete, and I'm one of the best in the world, and it's, oh, man, it's a heck of a ride, man. It's a heck of a ride, and I'm truly grateful for the UFC and Dana and everybody for giving me these opportunities, and can't wait to see what the future holds.
Hey, Dom, over here in the back, right here.
James.
Hey, how's it going? Congratulations. Really impressive win, obviously. Chris Weidman, if you see when he's been finished, it's been later in the fight. You did it in the first round. Does part of this win kind of, is it more satisfying with the fact that so many people criticized you for that fight against Volkan and didn't really look at the circumstances heading into that fight?
And yesterday has nothing to do with today, in my mind. Today's today, and I handled the day. It was extremely satisfying to get a first-round knockout. That's really all there is to it.
And you talked about a potential fight with Anthony Smith if it was for a title. If John fights someone else at light heavyweight, would you be willing to still fight him just to keep active in case you're waiting on the sidelines for a while?
Well, there's no one else to fight him. I mean, I'm number 4. 2 and 3 already fought him. I'm next.
Who do you think wins that fight between Corey Anderson and Johnny Walker at 244?
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe.
Last question I have to ask just because of the style. Are you stealing some style here from the Schmo? You got the glasses and the purple blazer like the Schmo does tonight.
I don't know, man. All week me and the Schmoes seem to have matched. I don't know how that happened, but great minds think alike, I guess.
Over here, Dom, great fight. A couple of us ran into your folks after the weigh-ins yesterday. How important was it to you to have them here, and have they come to your fights before?
My parents come to all my fights, except for Chile. My mom couldn't make it because I couldn't afford to buy her a ticket. But it's everything, man. Having mom and dad there it's your backbone. I have 2 of my brothers walking out with me. It's family is everything for me, and it gives me all my strength and all my power. That and God, and I'm invincible when I'm in there, when I'm with my people.
Yeah. They seem to have a really upbeat attitude and really happy and positive, and it seems like you have that as well. Looks like you come by that naturally.
Yeah, it's I was raised, where love conquers all, you get more with honey than you do with vinegar, When people will prod at you and mess with you to try to get you to feel like them, and just be happy. let your positive attitude radiate out, and give other people a smile, because you don't know how their days are going.
Very wise words. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Dominic, back here. You talked about your precision, your speed, your accuracy, but you've talked a lot about your analytical work inside the octagon. Do you think that's what separates you from the rest of the light heavyweights in the division?
Well, I would like to say yes, but I don't know how everybody else's mind works. Me personally, I was an IT professional. I have a degree in information systems. I don't believe anybody else on the roster has that degree, and it's extremely difficult to obtain. It was probably the hardest thing I've ever done while playing football simultaneously. But yeah, it might be my analytical mind. I feel like a freaking robot in there. Like, everything I'm doing, it's like, I feel like Terminator, man. I'm like tracking, like, like, if this happens and this. It's like a if-then computer program constantly running. And once I dial in, it's like, ooh, buddy, you're done.
Dom, beautiful choice and style. Congratulations on the victory, putting Victorville on the map.
Yes, sir.
Now talk to me for a second. You were stuffing takedowns from Chris Weidman early on in the fight. Where did you credit your wrestling for this camp?
I credit to my brother, Dominick Reyes, to Dan Henderson, Micah Johnson, Joe Stevenson, and my teammates over at Cobra Kai, Jim, Jonathan, as well as my guys at Team Quest, Sam Alvey. You guys might not know this, but he's a pretty strong guy, and he's a decent wrestler. So I got some great people behind me, helping me become the best version of me.
Where does the bad beef with Anthony Smith stem from?
I don't know. I think it's him he got overly sensitive about a Twitter tweet that I tweeted, because I was ready to fight, and I saw that he posted a tweet about he was boxing or something like that. I was like, I thought you were hurt. Like, let's scrap, bro. What's good? And he was like, just started disrespecting, and you don't disrespect and just get away with it, so eventually we'll come across each other, and we'll settle in the octagon.
And lastly, the boss man's, you were sitting right here, the boss man said he wanted the Yair Rodriguez, Jeremy Stevens to be the main card. He regretted that decision. He was non-committal to give you the title shot. We're going to assume that he's waiting for the winner of the Johnny Walker-Corey Anderson fight, maybe Lionheart Smith. What's your best case to be the one to get John Jones if he doesn't go to heavyweight and he's just waiting out for the best man?
First of all, Dana still loves me. I just knock people out, And I think he knew I was going to knock out Chris, and he wanted to see 2 more rounds of the little guys hitting each other. So that is what it is. But this is still my main event. I think it does say my name right there. And the best case scenario is I fight John in March, April. Corey and Johnny fight. They do their thing. If Johnny wins, then I don't know, maybe he fights someone else. That's only 3 for him or 4 for him. I have 6. Like 3 versus 6. And if Corey wins, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Like, I think that's what Dana's thinking. We'll figure out what happens. And but I'm the baddest dude right now.
Nice glasses.
Dom, here in the front. Every superstar had that first moment where they just wowed over the crowd, the masses, and then suddenly they have all these fans and they get that, star. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like this moment today is that moment for you? I do.
My first main event, I got knocked out Chris Weidman. Chris Weidman. That's a huge accomplishment. But we'll see, man. The internet's finicky. People are finicky. We'll see how it goes.
Well, speaking of that, perfect lead to my next question. Obviously, with all the fans, also the higher profile you have, the more haters you're going to get.
Always.
You know what they're going to say? They're going to say, oh, yeah, he beat a middleweight, or he beat a guy that just lost 5 out of 6. Weidman doesn't have a chin. He doesn't even hit that hard, blah, 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 blah. What do you say to those guys? I'm assuming Twitter's probably already got them. What do you say to those guys?
Haters going to hate, man. Haters going to hate.